How many playthroughs can a person possibly do of one game? Well, I am trying to figure out the answer to that question, so welcome to my third playthrough of BLiNX, in a way. BLiNX 2, more specifically. I have, well, an odd idea, or two, more specifically, for this series. It's going to be presented as two series, even though it's a single playthrough. This is the first part of the first, well, part of that series. First series of this playthrough, that being, well, just an odd little gimmick for the sweepers. I admit, the whole point for this playthrough was the tom-tom, so that's going to be a little bit more interesting than I do with the sweepers, but nobody's done what I'm going to try to do with the sweepers here, I'm sure, so maybe it'll just be entertaining, odd, or amusing to see me try to stumble through the game completely in first person. It's possible, I'm very sure. Is there anything I want to throw into here? Just want to make sure. That's not really language, is it? It's easy and normal. It's by default on easy. I just thought that was interesting. Okay. Let's get going then. I have also decided I will be talking over cutscenes if I so desire, because this isn't really a playthrough for people that haven't seen the game before. I'm just going to assume you're familiar with everything anyways. If you want to see all the cutscenes in their mostly uninterrupted glory, you can see that in my first playthrough of this game on my channel. Oh hey, I didn't realize Mateo was actually exploring with Sino and Ugo in this particular cutscene. I've been looking into the characters a lot more in this game in recent times, and I actually know people's names now, in most cases. I hadn't paid much attention to any of the tom-tom side characters at all, and then when it came to the sweepers, I had ignored a lot of them. I question the purpose of the existence of a big crystal, but that's for me to just write about elsewhere, or who knows. It's kind of funny to see Sino out and about, though. I don't really imagine him as a fieldwork type of guy. I have to admit, after all these years and seeing this cutscene so many times, it's still fun seeing the little slapsticky bits of Benito getting thrown onto all the other tom-toms as they're freaking out. Great job, guys. You're doing it well. Sino looks very unhappy with him. Hi. Suddenly, Jimmy's here. Yes, of course I'm going to customize my character. I'm going to try and make this quick. I actually have a list of things I'm going to pull up right now. I might make some unfortunate sounds while I do so. Boom, it's done. So I'm just going to put together what I had planned, because my character creation is not really the focus of this. What was the guy with lens? So I'm going to speed through this part so we can get to the actual gameplay, which is the actual purpose of this. Hopefully we'll actually have some amount of gameplay in this particular episode. I don't intend for it to have none, but we'll have to see. Gloves, metal was... Okay. Is that everything for the outfit? I think so. I had something very specific in mind. With reference to how I'm... number 4... and basically everything is 50. Well, not everything. With reference to how I've just been more familiar with the characters as of late, I decided, hey, how about we try to figure out which character we can actually recreate as a playable character. Well, I don't think there's anybody who can actually recreate that faithfully. Maybe Pelon, aside from the big slash they have in their jacket. Shoulder width, what was that? 50. The thing is, Pelon also has an incredibly feminine voice. In fact, people dispute whether or not Pelon is actually male or female. So, and you have a very decidedly male voice. So it's kind of awkward trying to play as somebody who's supposed to be Pelon if you have the voice actor that you do. So Picaro is a much better option. basically everything is 50. If you want to look normal. So it's 50. Like, literally everything from here is 50, actually. Okay. There we go. I was thinking you still looked a little weird. Okay. And I could go on at length about certain things with regards to the sweepers, but I'm not going to. Ta-da! This is mostly like Picaro. Main difference is you can't have Picaro's exact shade of jacket. And secondly, unfortunately, did I write everything? Fortunately, the fur pattern that I'm using here is very close to Picaro's actual fur pattern, but it's ever so slightly different. Which makes me kind of sad. But we have it for the most part. So this is basically Picaro. You're not going to see him much, because we're going to be playing in first person pretty much the entire time. Well, not that kind of back. Backspace, please. What does more entail? How fun. Oh, even more. Okay. Picaro. Ta-da! What? I never even thought out this part. What would Picaro be? Picaro's a very enthusiastic individual. And I don't really see how any of these would be enthusiasm. I never really... What's the point of having an emblem? That fits Picaro's scheme a bit more than the rest of the stuff, I guess. And this white would be best out of all these things. Or yellow. Yellow sticks out too much, I think. I mean, yellow on purple, they're complementary colors, but they're complementary in that they also stick out the most. That's how complementary colors work. I don't think you can ever change your team emblem or the colors of your emblem and armband, ever, which always bugged me. Like, I don't bloody know. Game, I forgot you even had this. Why do you even have this part? Since when does... There are so many things in this game that don't really seem like they ever serve much of any purpose. Particularly things relating to multiplayer. How your team emblem can be so... Well, not very customized, though. It's a thing to make a big deal of. And things like that. Will this contrast too much? Ow! Yeah, it does, actually. I would say it does. But it doesn't need to look that great. Blacktail. It seems like everybody else has... Stop. It's the wrong kind of back. Seems like everybody else has a team named after themselves, I think. At least you can rename your team later if you have to. So I'm just gonna make it Team Picaro. I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay Picaro. Because I think it's usually standard procedure for sweepers teams being named after their leader. Either that or sweepers are just really vain. Had a lot of shorties for a moment there. Why? Everyone is so short! I want people that look at least vaguely normal. Why do you have to have such randomized weird proportions, guys? And all these sweepers that are appearing behind me are from a finite list, too. It's not like they're actually... Well, they're from a finite list, but they were clearly randomized and then saved to the game's disk. Instead of just spending the time making sure most of them look at least vaguely normal. Okay, that's good enough. Gale, Kenneth, and Russell. Okay. I guess this is gonna be like a feature-length episode. Oh, well actually we have a tutorial. You'll get an introduction to what this game is going to be like in the form of a tutorial. How many save slots do I have left? Only 2 after this one. I'll be sad. Alright. I'm drawing the camera. Well, yeah, that's going to be kind of unique. Oh no, I can't go into first person yet. I feel crippled. There we go. Yeah, you're gonna get used to this. I hope you don't mind this big green reticle because you're gonna be seeing a lot of it. No. You jerk. Okay. Please. Well, yeah, every time somebody sends a transmission to you, your camera goes back into third person. Just a little annoying. But then it snaps right back into first person anyways. It's like Mirror's Edge type platforming here. First person platforming. What did I learn how to do? I can also zoom in on things for emphasis, which you may have noticed if you were reading the text right there. Yeah, this is the one thing they can't do in first person, unfortunately. But, I can zoom in for emphasis in case you ever particularly want me to. Or rather, in case I ever decide to. Let's see, jump up, grab a ledge, and it's automatically, well, cutscene started, yeah. But it's stuck in first person, or third person. Not that you would really be able to see much if you're in first person anyways, but Mirror's Edge made it work. But it's a little bit more interesting once you get to the sweeping. Platforming in first person isn't all that interesting, or at least especially not if you've played a game like Mirror's Edge, but once you introduce strafing and all that to sweeping stuff up and shooting things, you've actually turned the game into a first-person shooter where you actually have to aim. Something that I always thought was kind of unfortunate in this game compared to BLiNX, the original BLiNX, was that you don't actually have to aim at things in this game. You just lock onto things. Like that. It's like, well, let me shoot. I have to lock on. Okay. But I can just do this now. So I actually have to aim at things always. I can't lock onto things from the first person. You can see how... Yeah. Oh, whatever. Pretty self-explanatory, honestly. Melee attacks is interesting. Namely, in that you don't get to see the animation that makes you stop moving. For those unfamiliar, or those who have forgotten, after you do a second attack, you have to wait for your sweeper to be all fancy and just sit there motionless. So that's why if I do two attacks like this, I get stuck without being able to turn or anything for a moment. That was a really weird camera pan. You still didn't see my character at all. Well, yeah, you have to suck them up like everything else. You put into your sweeper. Is it over here? Yeah, it is over there. Aha! Okay, there we go. Where'd you go? Oh, it was on my radar without actually... No, go away. Something that I think is actually kind of cool as an unintended consequence of being in first person is you actually get a decent sense of scale of all the monsters. But you'll see more of that later. And retry. Well, whatever. When you fail. Wow. Up to max of 2 at the moment. You know, one of my earlier ideas for what this playthrough could be was actually a pacifist run of sorts. I wanted to see if I could get through the game as a sweeper without actually killing anything. Unfortunately... Oh. The issue with that idea is that you can never actually get through some parts of the game without killing monsters to get time crystals to use time controls. That aside, there's not really a lot you have to do ever with regard to hurting enemies. game has an interesting way of pluralizing the word retry. Yay! But one thing that would actually be kind of cool is when these spikers and whatnot are flying around everywhere, I might actually have to lead my shots to them. It's adding depth to the gameplay. See, this is why I like doing when I play games many times over. I like to make them more fun. Yes, Jimmy, thank you. You know, I guess Jimmy is more than just a shopkeeper like I always thought he was. He was a trainer, too. I need to make a note of that. That blade went somewhere very different than I thought it would be by the time I hit that X button, but okay. That's gonna be hard. Oh no! How does one do that? Also, okay. Oh god. What is happening to the... Oh dear. What's happening to the graphical effect? Oh dear. Something is going wrong with the... blur... Oh, ow. With the effect on the ground. It's getting really excited. But sometimes, yeah, you can see... Yeah. If you look at the right height, it gets like cut off at the bottom of the screen. Beautiful unintended consequences. Oh well. Give me a bomb. Thank you. I'm on the button. Okay. Almost done. Oh yeah, unfortunately, you can't actually be in first person while using reactives. The game will just force you out of first person. Which makes sense for this part, although it would be kinda cool to see the missiles just flying right over your face in first person. But the strange thing is... Come on. Look what happens here. X. Oh, really? Okay, so last time I went into a level at least. Go away. And a pause reactive popped up. It actually booted me out of first person the entire time the pause was active. If it doesn't stay that way, then cool, but... Oh well. I get a badge. So that will probably be the end of this episode since you've seen the premise, you've been introduced to it, and we can move on from here. I don't know how soon we're going to get to the TomTom stuff, which is going to be my original idea for this playthrough, but we'll see. See you guys.